leading the Steelers record book at the wide receiver position. This year, he became only the second player in NFL history with 4 straight seasons with over 100 catches. We welcome Antonio Brown to the desk, presented by Visa. And let me just also say, you're turning into the next Peyton Manning. I've seen you in more commercials. They're hilarious. I love it.
Thank you.
It's good stuff.
Are y'all finished with the pleasantries?
Mm-hmm. Well, that open wasn't very nice that we showed.
Let me explain. Love this brother. Known him for years. The Facebook video that got you in trouble. What the hell were you thinking? What was that, man? What was that?
I'm sorry for that. It was just a little excitement. You know, last year at that moment, you know, I got caught up in not being able to play when we played against Denver last year and not even make the travel team. And just being excited for the win, emotional win. I got emotionally caught up in the atmosphere and was excited. And I'm sorry for the video, but we all make mistakes, you know. I'm sure you've been on air and said something you shouldn't have said.
Yes, yes.
We learn from it.
Yes, you're right.
Yeah.
You're right.
We learn from it. And,
right.
And move on. You know, I never meant to embarrass the organization, make my teammates feel any other than I'm with them and with the guys. And, you know, I'm sorry for it.
You know, in all seriousness, I appreciate that. And I hate where this story has gone in this sense. You can ball. When we talk about the top 3 receivers in the game, your name is consistently on the list. And what bothers me is that I'm reading reports out of Pittsburgh where you got folks talking about you should be traded because you're a distraction and you're not worth the money. I want the record to show I think that's crazy. There's no way in hell that should happen. But what are your thoughts about people talking about it might be time for you to be out of Pittsburgh?
Well, you can't listen to people. You know, I know where I stand with the organization. I know how my teammates feel about me. I know where I want to be, and that's all important. You know, the media has a job with putting out things that are true. You know, we have a lot of people look at this show, look at things around the media that they put out, and it's just been sad, you know, the things they've been saying about me as of late in regards of a guy who don't run his routes full speed and a guy who pouting after the championship game. And, you know, I know criticism comes with the job and the position I'm in, and I'm willing and able to accept that position and know what comes with it. But to say those type of things is just not true and not fact.
For the record, Max, that wasn't said on this show by any of us. Yep. That was said by the Pittsburgh Post.
Well, but doesn't that fire you up? And doesn't that fire you up and kind of refocus you to get back on the field next year?
I mean, it motivates you. And every year you got to find encouragement and motivation to go back out there and be your best self. And I think it had been inspiring for me this year in 2017.
On this show, when it was talked about trading Antonio Brown, we were unanimous about that. You're an all-time producer. You're not just one of the best receivers now. You're having a prime that rivals any prime in the history of the game. How are you going to replace that? However, it only became a story because Mike Tomlin, your coach, said, hey, when guys do that, that's why you see guys not spend their whole career in one place. It was your coach that set that off. What did you think when you read that quote?
I mean, publicly, you know, it was kind of harsh when you hear those type of things. But I know his intention. I got a great relationship with Coach Tomlin. I know what he means in regards of how he feel about me as a player. And, you know, I just think he had to come down harsh, you know, it's championship week. Of course, of a big game and a big game week. We're just trying to harden the distraction and minimize it in regards to the game.
Now, you can't rewind time. And you said you owned it. That's it. Like, you look forward, and we all respect that. So let me preface this by saying, sorry, I got to bring this up, but I haven't had a chance to ask you. When you saw the video and you heard in the background Coach saying, stay off of social media, at the same time you were on Facebook Live, what went through your mind at that moment?
This is bad. I was like, let me quietly end it right now.
You know, I think this is an appropriate question to ask you. We keep talking about folks assuming that it's time for you to go.
Yeah.
How do you feel? You feel you want to stay in Pittsburgh? Because you do want your money. You have not gotten your money yet. And other dudes who can play dare I say, were not available for different reasons, whereas you have been very reliable. Damn right, they couldn't stay off the weed. My point is, that's not your issue. Do you want to be in Pittsburgh for years to come?
Steelers for life.
Antonio, how did you feel when you heard Big Ben say that he was contemplating retirement?
Well, over the course of the season, you know, he's a veteran player. He's been playing the game a long time. I think he just finished his 13th season. You know, I don't think he will retire. I just think, you know, when you lose a big game such as a championship game, you know, it takes a lot of air out of you. And I think he's a guy who only played to win, and he play every year to win championship. So I think he's just saying that, knowing he got to renew his commitment, know he got to find some fire in the offseason that's going to drive him to keep him going. But I'm sure he'll be back.
When you guys are, you talk about the three best, A.J. Green is here, truly the four best receivers in the league. But the talk was you and Odell and Julio Jones. Odell, with the boat and the partying, drops passes. He drops off the list. Now it's you and Julio Jones. Julio's still playing, and he's still playing because he had an insane game. Now, you also played very well, and the way they defensively scheme you and all that makes a difference. But is that something that's on your radar? Like, oh, Julio had a big game in the playoffs. Now I'm dropped to second. I'm trying to be first. Is that something on your radar?
Not at all. But I know it's a competitive sport. We all watch each other, and we all see what each other do, and we all trying to outdo each other. And that's what makes the sport competitive, and that's what makes the game fun. But, you know, some things are out of your control, you know. It's all about winning, you know. So if Matt Ryan get Julio 80 targets and I get 10 targets, you know, it don't matter. It's all about finding a way to win and being in those big games, which is the Super Bowl.
Julio Jones is a bad boy. He's been compared to you and others. But on the other side is a team that kind of whipped y'all in the AFC Championship game. I'm very disgusted by that. Who do you have winning the Super Bowl, Antonio Brown, and why?
I got the New England Patriots. Bill Belichick is a great coach. He got great schemes. Tom Brady, you know, he's going to move the ball, possess the ball, and put up points. And you're going to have to match that intensity. I think Atlanta got a great offense that could combat the Patriots' offense. But they're going to have to minimize upon their mistakes. Belichick's going to be running new DBs in, new linebackers, mixing up the schemes of the coverage, and making it difficult for the Atlanta offense.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Mike.
No, I mean, that's I think, conventional wisdom. But is part of that, does that sway you a little bit? Because if they win, at least you guys lost to the Super Bowl champs. In other words, are you rooting for the Patriots at this point? I'm
not rooting for anyone. You know, I'm just a fan of the game and looking at the game from a football player standpoint. And I just feel that's how the game will unfold.
Before I let you get on out of here, because I'm a Steelers fan, what the hell do the Steelers need to do to get to this game? I mean, it's getting on my nerves. Y'all ain't been there since 2010. It's been a while. Well,
we just need to have everybody in the organization all in, from the upstairs to downstairs, the people that volunteer to help us out. We got to be committed with the guys in the locker room.
How about a pass rush? Would that help? A pass rush to actually have the ability to get at the opposing quarterback so he ain't sitting in the pocket calling his fans.
Or Martavis on the other side available for a whole season would be good too, right?
That'll help as well.
Yes.
This one's getting personal for Stephen A. right now. Antonio Brown, so good to see you. Thank you so much. Presented by Visa.
I need the Steelers to win.
Keep swiping.